Hello, I'm Zach Turnbull, Buffalo District Wildlife Biologist. I'll be presenting the proposed seasons for 2024 and giving a brief update on herds. Here are the contacts for wildlife managers in the Buffalo region. I'll present these contacts at the end as well if you need to contact anyone. Hazelton Pronghorn Herd, areas 20 and 102. The Hazelton herd is comprised of hunt areas 20 and 102. It is managed for hunter and landowner satisfaction. We've seen a decrease in satisfaction in hunter metrics recently. Doe fawn licenses were cut in Hunt Area 20 in 2022. We're again proposing reductions in the herd unit, mostly in Hunt Area 102. This hunt area was the only pronghorn hunt area in the Buffalo District that did not have reductions in 2022, but it is clear some reductions are warranted now. You can see a slight reduction to Hunt Area 20 Type 6 licenses and reductions to Type 1 and 6 licenses in Hunt Area 102 are proposed this year. The pronghorn herd is comprised solely of Hunt Area 21, southwest of KC. Here saw decent fawn numbers, but overall production recently is down. The herd was likely impacted by significant drought and then consecutive years of hemorrhagic diseases. Estimates for Middle Fork put the herd slightly below objectives the last 5 years. Harvest metrics improved slightly following 2022 license reductions in this herd unit. Proposed a slight reduction to doe licenses again this year to help the population reach objective. The woman pronghorn herd is comprised of hunt areas 22 and 113, falling roughly between I-25 and the Powder River. Fawn production remains decent, particularly in the north end of the herd unit. The southern portion seems to lag in most aspects. The population remains below objective following significant impacts from drought and hemorrhagic disease events. Last year, we did not detect significant losses from hemorrhagic disease. Harvest metrics were similar last year, with better harvest in the northern portion of the unit and tougher conditions overall in the south. With the population falling under objective and considering harvest statistics and landowner concerns, we reduced 22 Type 6 licenses slightly and 113 licenses more substantially this year. Lincoln Butte's mule deer herd is comprised of hunt areas 29, 31, and 19. I'll mostly be covering areas 29 and 31. Continues to suffer. Reductions to season and quotas were made in 2022. Here, a herd unit objective review was conducted, and the objective was reduced to 9,000 to more accurately describe the conditions and animals that the unit can support. Many issues plague this deer herd, including hemorrhagic disease, vehicle mortality, and chronic wasting disease. As you can see from the project, survival of adult does was very poor. Those season and non-resident quotas remain unchanged from the previous year. Upper Powder mule deer herd is comprised of hunt areas 30, 32, 33, 163, and 169. Herd metrics may have improved slightly the last couple of years, with both increased fawn and buck numbers observed in postseason classifications. We saw a slight increase in resident participation and resident harvest, possibly with hunters shifting focus from other areas of the state that were more significantly impacted by 2023 winters. Closed seasons and non-resident quotas remain unchanged from the previous year. Fourth bighorn mule deer herd. Third saw similar metrics as previous years with decent fawn production and buck ratios. Seasons and non-resident quota proposals remain unchanged for 2024 in the buffalo portion of the herd unit. South Bighorn Elk is made up of hunt areas 33, 34, 120, 47, 48, and 49, managed collaboratively between the Sheridan, Casper, Lander, and Cody regions. The herd is managed on a winter trend count objective. Again, this year we were over objective. This year saw open winters with fairly unusual distribution of animals. First was up a couple hundred animals in the herd unit this year, which is good. The fall was unseasonably warm, so an increase in harvest is a little surprising. In 2022, we modified the early season Type 6 hunt. That change stands this year as well. The season was originally added to discourage elk from falling off the mountain onto private lands. What it seemed to actually do was increase pressure on the mountain around private inholdings and may have contributed to elk leaving the mountain early. Since elk first appeared off the mountain in 2015, trends have just worsened. As you can see in the bottom graph, early season harvest has met or exceeded previous harvests with the exception of 2020. Seasons in the Buffalo District remain unchanged in 2024. Slight season date changes proposed to Hunt Area 48, Type 6, and a slight increase to licenses in Hunt Area 120. Bighorn Elk Herd. Slight change is proposed to Hunt Area 35. Last year, a break was applied in several hunt areas. This was intended to apply to 35 Type 6 tags as well. This change is to correct that. The break is intended to allow elk to settle somewhat in an effort to actually increase harvest once the season reopens. Slight changes to the northern hunt areas. Watch the Sheridan presentation for those. Bighorn Moose Herd. Seasons in Hunt Area 34 were reduced slightly in 2024 based on worsening harvest statistics and reduced trend counts and observations. Those 2024 Bighorn Moose seasons. For those of you that stuck around, I have a segment on top comments from hunters and surveys. We often get similar questions every year, some that may be better addressed to other agencies or in a different venue. These will be presented in a top 10 format, reminiscent of the old David Letterman top 10 lists. Hopefully some of these are helpful and provide some insight. Number 10. There isn't any access. Why can't I access all public land? Apart from lands owned or administered by the Department and Commission, the Department has no control over land ownership or designation of roads. Through our access programs, we try to improve access and enrolled acreage, but we have no authority or power to mandate access. Number 9. How come I can't drive down every public road? There's too many ATVs, vehicles, etc. on these roads. Agencies that manage public lands are typically responsible for travel restrictions. These restrictions often balance access with resource concerns. Specific access concerns should be addressed to the agencies that administer those lands, such as the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, or Office of State Lands. Concerns over motorized access should be addressed to agencies with land management authority. Most agencies treat e-bikes the same as other off-road vehicles. Number 8. Game and Fish keeps giving out more non-resident licenses every year. A percentage of licenses are issued to non-residents. Non-resident general deer and now non-resident general elk are issued based on annual region quotas. In general, this issuance for non-residents has only decreased in the last decade. undersubscribed limited quota licenses can be allocated to non-residents. So if residents don't purchase their share of limited quota licenses, non-residents can. Number 7. All the elk are on private land. Game and Fish should drive them off private land, force access, etc. Quit catering to landowners. The department does not have authority to haze elk off private lands without permission. The department works to gain access to private lands through a variety of programs, but access to private land is ultimately the decision of the landowner. Number 6. Game and Fish never listens to my comments. This is a waste of time. Most biologists and game wardens read comments. All written season comments are provided to the commission as part of the season setting process. The department balances a huge variety of comments and opinions with biological information, social concerns, and harvest statistics to try and formulate the best hunting seasons. Number 5. I don't like certain land uses like grazing, logging, or ATVs. These uses and land status designations are under the purview of appropriate land management agencies. Comments should be directed to those land management agencies. The department does regulate use and activity on department-owned lands. Number 4. Why can landowners drive on state or BLM lands and I can't? Oftentimes, landowners have vehicle access to parcels of land they hold lease agreements on. These types of concerns should be addressed to the proper land management agency. The department does have some agreements with landowners who hold a lease or inholding on department-owned lands. Number 3. Game and Fish is charging too much money for tags, and I can't ever draw a tag. The Wyoming legislature establishes fee structure for licenses. These concerns should be voiced to your representatives. The Wyoming Game and Fish does not set license fees. Number 2. I didn't enjoy my hunt. I'm unhappy. I didn't see one 350-inch bull, one 90-inch pronghorn, or one 200-inch deer. Many variables can affect the outcome or success of a hunt. Some foreseeable, some not. There are no guarantees in hunting. Managers encourage hunters to read previous job completion reports and consult the online hunt planner, as a great deal of information is available, including harvest statistics, satisfaction, and public land access. Population management involves far more than trophy antler horn size. While trophy quality may be a component of management, in some areas, other factors are often of greater importance. Number 1. I really enjoyed my hunt. That's great to hear. Wyoming hunts have fairly high success and approval, but nothing is guaranteed. Thanks for hunting in Wyoming. This concludes my presentation. Please feel free to contact us with specific concerns or comments. Thanks for watching.